neighbors just across the way. They're just behind you there. And yeah, just like right there. And I mentioned in my last video that those neighbors were moving. They moved out after living there for, I think, 5 years, they said. So they liked it. They moved out, and then it took a little while to fill the apartment. Now let me remind you too that this is the apartment right across the way, and many of our windows align with theirs. Like, our bedroom looks right into one of their bedrooms, and like our kitchen looks right into their kitchen. They're not in the same building, but they still feel like a close neighbor, not only because they're right across the way, but because we look at each other all day long. So it took a little while to fill, and we were watching from our place as the real estate agent showed people around, or I guess rather the owner showed people around, the landlord, trying to find the right buyers, or right renters, excuse me. I keep getting it confused because the price was so dang high that it kind of baffled me. They were asking, before I say this, let me preface it by saying that this price does not reflect the neighborhood really at all, which is why it's so absurd. It's a nice neighborhood, but it's not this nice, okay? They were asking to rent it for $7,000 for a 2-bedroom that you could round up to 3 if you wanted. Let's say 3. I know the market is crazy right now, like just crazy, but it's just too much. And so we were watching the landlord like bring people in and show them around, and we were like, even in a market like this, they're not gonna rent it, and they're gonna have to revise the price and then try again. Well, we were wrong. They did find people to rent it for that very crazy price. There are a million ways that it could make sense, but still I was like, whoa, that is a high number. So yeah. Meanwhile, we have neighbors that have been here in like little places for 20, 30 years, and they've seen it change a ton. It's just wild. But that's the market right now, okay? That's the market. So they moved in. They're a couple with a kid, and she's pregnant, so they'll have 2 kids. 2 kids. And the school here is good, so I think maybe that's a factor. But of course we were like, I wonder what they do for work to pay that much and be fine with that, and also to have moved here from out of town. We can tell by the guy's baseball cap that they're not from town. He's repping really hard another team. Totally fine. It's just something we noticed. Here's the interesting thing about this guy's baseball cap. Maybe you do this, and that is okay. I just have never, ever met anyone Special K is also a marijuana strain, I think. Yeah, I've heard of that. But I haven't heard of Strawberry Special K as something you can smoke. But maybe it exists and it's like some mixture of two kinds. Maybe. And I wondered if he was in cannabis. The person I live with and I also have this joke that everyone moves here. Well, it's not even true, really. We just heard on a plane once that he was talking to his seat buddy, and he was saying that he had moved here for crypto and cannabis. To be like on the cutting edge of crypto and cannabis. And we were like, we didn't say this, we weren't a part of the conversation, but it was kind of like, I think you're a little late to be on the cutting edge of crypto and cannabis. I don't think you're like an early adopter anymore, at least where we are. Anyway, so we say everyone comes here to be in crypto and cannabis, which I just think is a funny combination, but one that makes sense. Anyway, I wonder if maybe that's why he moved out here. Maybe. But I don't know. The other thing about them, I'm looking at my little note, is also my stomach. I just had dinner, and maybe you can hear my stomach. Okay, two other things about them. One is giving them the benefit of the doubt. The woman has, well, they both have a little boy, a little howling dog, and the woman is pregnant, and they just moved. It's summer, so maybe they're just not in the best of moods right now. Maybe they're tired and stressed from the move, especially if they moved cross country like we think they did. That said, so far they have not been very friendly. Like our dog, when they do the gate to take their dog out, our dog will bark. She doesn't bark at a lot, actually, but she barks at this new dog and one other dog that I'll tell you about in a second because it pertains to something probably of interest to you. But she'll bark at this dog who lives right next door, for one. And so we'll be telling our dog, like, it's okay, which is what the trainer told us to say to her, to get her to stop barking when she quiets. Just say, it's okay. Basically, like, I hear you, I understand. There's something you're drawing our attention to. And then when she quiets, you say, good, quiet. So we'll be out there managing the dog, though, and they'll be down below us, and like a few times, because there's like a little balcony area, I've purposely looked in their direction just to be like, hi, I'm your neighbor, hi, welcome, and they don't even look up. Like, ample opportunities several times now. I'm clearly outside, I'm talking out loud to the dog, trying to get it to quiet down. The dog is also barking a bit, so you could look up at the dog, you could look up at me because I'm talking, and just be like, hi. several weeks, more than a month since they've moved in. We thought they had gone on like a little trip or something. No, they were there the whole time. The whole time they've been here. They have never turned on a single light at night. Now, some rooms I understand why not. One is their son's room, so the lights aren't on in there, and like maybe they're not using the other room. Okay, but in their kitchen and their living room, they don't turn on any lights at all. And the only reason, because it's so dark over there, but the shades are open, and the only reason we noticed they were actually home was because once or twice the guy went to the fridge, opened the fridge, got something, and went back. And when you open the fridge, a light turns on, of course. So they have power. They're connected to the grid. But they just have the lights off at night all the time. And this has been very baffling to us, although I will say, if you have a better guess, let me know. But at dinner, I had a bright idea. Because we talk about it, we're like, it's so weird that they live there. And we've never seen a single light on at night. Not a single light. But then at dinner, I was like, you know what? It's summer. The sun sets late. They're probably very tired after this trip and everything. Maybe they start watching TV at like 7 or 8. Their kid is already put down to bed. And then they just watch TV till they go to bed. And when they watch TV, they just don't turn on the lights, maybe. Because the way things are, we can't see their TV. It's behind a wall. So like maybe that's what's going on. But it's still, I don't even know if that's right though. If you were watching TV and came into the kitchen and opened the fridge for something, I think I might turn on the kitchen light, maybe not. But sometimes too, they'll open the pantry and the light is automatic there too, I think. Because when they open the door, the light's already on. Maybe the switch is next to the door. They hit that. They open the door to the pantry weird thing is that the other weekend we were coming back from somewhere, walking, and we saw a sign on a telephone post that was like stylist, wardrobe sale, up this way, or whatever. It was a Saturday. We're like, maybe that's her, because it was for the same street that she works on and that all her little garages are on. So I was like, we have to go, because I have to know if that is in fact what she is, a stylist. So we went, and even though it was exactly for her street, it went a little further past to this apartment building that had been opened up, and the apartment building had a pool that had been drained, and all these vintage clothes were in the pool, folded in piles, in the empty pool, folded in piles, and also on clothing racks sorted by color. And it was not her deal. I don't think, as far as I could tell. I didn't see her there. And there were some booths and things, like some people selling handmade necklaces and stuff, where it seemed like a little bit like a fair of sorts. Still really impromptu, but it just seemed bigger than her alone. And she wasn't there, so I don't think it was her. So I don't think she's necessarily a stylist. But they had popsicles. Really good popsicles. Not too sweet. So we had a popsicle. Alright. Then yeah. Okay, one more thing that concerns our neighbors next door, same building. I think I've mentioned before that they're a couple with two boys, and they are from France. And I don't know what names I've given them, but the parents are lovely. The parents are lovely. And so are the boys. But something embarrassing happened that it's not that big of a deal, but I was like, oops. So one of their boys, I don't know how old he is, but the youngest one still is like in a stroller and stuff, and you'll see the dad pushing him or the mom pushing him in the stroller. And so we've seen more of him than the older school-age boy. And because the boy will just be in school, but the younger one will go out for walks with his parents. And so through that, we do know the mom's name and the dad's name. But the person I live with was told the youngest boy's name by the mom, reported it back to me as, let's say, Matthew. He's like, I think it's like Matthew. It was said in French, Matthew. So that's what I was told by the person I live with, Matthew. So then when we will run into that kid, we'll say, oh, like, hello, Matthew. We were saying, hello, Matthew. Hello, Matthew. Bonjour, Matthew. Okay, well, the other day, they received some mail by the mailboxes, and I looked at it, and the older boy's name we'll say is Sean. And so it was addressed to Sean and Marcel, we'll say, and then their last name. I was like, oh, that's so weird, because that Marcel is not the mom's name, clearly. It's not the father's name. I was like, oh, Marcel must be the younger boy's name, because the older boy's name is Sean, and this is here addressed to Sean and Marcel. This whole time, months, like over a year basically now, we had been calling this poor little boy by the wrong name. All because the person I live with misheard it the first time he was told, and we were never corrected. We were never